6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. An El Campo man is behind bars accused of smuggling minors. What deputies found and what comes next in the case. And a deadly argument at a Galveston convenience store ends in gunfire. New details just ahead. Plus, how one Victoria woman says a backyard mess is turning into a health problem and why she says she can't fix it herself.
Well, the holiday is here. Where are you going to be? That all depends on what your forecast is. As you can see right about here, we don't have anything significant around our area, but if you look across Texas, it's raining heavily in East Texas, and all of West Texas is under a flood watch. What about us? We'll have all that coming up in a moment.
And Refugio County minor girls Little League team elimination tonight versus Canyon Lake. We'll preview this game later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. Shauna Curry and Don Brubaker has the night off. A truck that was found abandoned this morning in the Ander Visor area is now a part of a homicide investigation out of Galveston. Goliad County deputies arrested 29-year-old Giovanni Rodriguez Aboitis today. He now faces 5 charges in Goliad County, including criminal trespassing, unlawful possession of a weapon, and a motor vehicle theft. Authorities say Galveston police are in Goliad to interview the suspect on a homicide charges and to recover the truck. The reported murder happened last night in Galveston. And an El Campo man faces a charge of smuggling of people under the age of 18 using a warrant. Warden County deputies arrested 40-year-old Santos Palma Salinas Wednesday. Authorities tell U.S. no other people were in the vehicle at the time. He is in the Warden County jail in lieu of a $25,000 bond. An elderly woman is furious about grass rising in her backyard and possible roach problems. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with the lady. And Ray, how bad is the grass?
Yes, Amaya, the grass is so tall that it's almost over the fence line. Victoria resident Stephanie Hargrove is dealing with a great number of roaches and says it is due to the grass in her backyard. Hargrove says she only cuts from the front of her house to the end of the light pole. She says she tried to cut the grass herself and to get rid of the roaches, but she's physically disabled. She says she fell and broke her ankle, and she once tried to cut the tall grass herself. We've reached out to code enforcement and public works to see how they would address the issue, and we're waiting to hear back. Amaya.
Thank you, Ray. The 4th of July weekend is almost here. And now let's go to Mac Clovia Perez with the first look at our forecast. Mac, is it a great weather for us to put up some food on the grill and just celebrate with family and friends?
Well, I think it's going to be a great weekend, whatever happens. You know, a day off, and a day with the family, having fun, relaxing. That's good. Thing is, things are not quiet across Texas. Now, we have had cloud cover, but no rain down here. But look at this, heavy rains in East Texas, heavy rains along Waco and heading up to Dallas. And what's going on in West Texas? Flooding. This is all that tropical system coming in. So there's going to be some shower activity around here and some clouds as well. But it's the 4th of July. Let's go have a good time. So I'll have more details on your forecast coming up in just a moment.
The ACLU has filed a lawsuit over a new Texas law requiring public schools to display 10 commandments in the classroom. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at CrossroadsToday.com. And this brings us to our viewer poll for today. Should public schools reflect one religious tradition or make room for all beliefs? Schools should reflect on one shared tradition, make room for all beliefs, and religion should not be present in public schools. And so far that is still in the lead at 67% is religion should not be present in public schools. At now the percentage change at 68%. Now 24% make room for all beliefs, and at 8% reflects one shared tradition. Well, we would still love to hear from you. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. And in order to participate in our viewer poll, we will have the latest here at 10. It started with a Facebook post and ended with a confession that caught plenty of attention in Wichita Falls. A local woman returned from vacation to find her home ransacked, and the suspect already making name for herself online.
Cape's face might be familiar to Wichita Falls Rant and Rave members because she recently went small town viral. Wichita Falls resident Stephanie Davidson was getting ready to fly back home when her neighbors sent her photos of Cape stealing from her home. Davidson quickly posted the photo to the locally popular Facebook page before her plane took off. And when she landed, she found that Cape had actually identified herself by admitting to the crime on social media, saying, quote, "People need to mind their own business. This woman called me trash just because I broke in her house and stole some stuff. She don't even know me." Davidson says her trip was 3 weeks long and she's not even sure how long Cape had been inside her home.
I wanted to throw up. I wanted to be sick. It's pretty bad. I think they've been in there probably the whole time I was gone, going in and out, just taking stuff, ransacked. It's hard to even tell what's gone and what's there. It's a mess.
Davidson also says the community is helping her during this tough time.
I don't know how I'd feel if I didn't have the support. Because it's really hard. You really do feel violated, you know, when people go and dig through your property and steal from your kids and you, and it's hard.
Misty Cape, also going by the name of Misty Criddle, is wanted for theft between $2,500 and $30,000. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel Crossroads today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a call between President Trump and Putin. What Russian state media is revealing about their conversation and why it's raising concerns. And packed roads and crowd terminals, why this holiday weekend is shaping up to be the busiest travel period ever. Welcome back. Russian state media reports President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin discuss Ukraine and Iran, among other issues, in a nearly hour-long phone call today. State media described the call as businesslike. A Kremlin aide said Putin told Trump Russia would not back down from its war goals in Ukraine. The Russian leader also reportedly told Trump the upcoming third round of Ukraine-Russian talks in Istanbul will remain collective and not include the U.S. The two leaders reportedly did not discuss the recent decision by the U.S. to pause some weapon transfer to Ukraine. The state media also said Putin reaffirmed a desire for a diplomatic resolution to the crisis in the Middle East. After hours of delay and sleepless nights in Washington, congressional Republicans have passed President Trump's spending bill. The bill fulfills several of Trump's campaign promises, but its prices tag and big slashes to Medicaid faces significant pushback.
President Trump's signature legislation, which he dubbed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act months ago, progressing since in fits and starts, cleared its last major hurdle today, and it's on its way to the president's desk.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
House Speaker Mike Johnson secured enough support for the bill overnight after Trump himself met with several Republican holdouts at the White House and worked the phones through the night.
With one big, beautiful bill, we are going to make this country stronger, safer, and more prosperous than ever before. And every American is going to benefit from that.
The vote itself delayed, with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries delivering a record-breaking 8-hour and 44-minute speech in opposition.
This bill represents the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It will devastate vulnerable populations all across America.
Republicans faced an uphill battle advancing the bill, with some against its price tag. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add $3.4 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. And in that same time frame, the CBO says some 11.8 million Americans could lose their health insurance coverage because of its steep cuts to Medicaid. Trump's bill also fulfills several of his campaign promises, including no taxes on tips and overtime pay, plus an increase in funding for border security and hiking the debt ceiling by $5 trillion. The White House says the president plans to sign the megabill into law during a ceremony tomorrow evening on the 4th of July. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
The Texas Tribune reports U.S. Representative District 27 Michael Cloud was one of the several Texas Republicans who held up a procedural vote for hours late Wednesday night into Thursday morning as congressional leaders worked to share their support. After the bill passed, Congressman Cloud released this statement, "The House just passed the one big beautiful bill with my support. We were also about to secure an agreement from Speaker Johnson. That's before September 30th. We will vote on a balanced budget amendment," unquote. Another record-breaking holiday is upon us, the road and in the skies, and today is expected to be one of the busiest for travel as millions of Americans head out of town to celebrate the 4th. ABC's Renee Roy has the latest.
A mass travel crush this July 4th weekend, with millions of Americans now heading to their destinations. A record-breaking 51,000 flights scheduled for today alone. The Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport was buzzing early this morning. In total, the TSA expecting to screen more than 18 million passengers from July 1st through the 7th. Already, many people dealing with delays.
It's just been a very long day and long night. We haven't slept.
But United Airlines, which is expecting to fly more than 6 million passengers, telling ABC News they're ready.
This is our Super Bowl of travel right here, and we are focused on getting our customers safely where they need to go this holiday season.
The roads are also busy. AAA projecting an all-time record of 72 million drivers who are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home, nearly 2 million more than last year and 7 million more than 2019.
We left around 10 a.m. and it took us like an hour. It wasn't too bad, actually, as long as you leave before noon.
In New York, some drivers facing bumper-to-bumper traffic.
The traffic's actually pretty bad going out to Long Island right now. We see like 2.5, 3 hours.
Now, according to Hopper, the busiest days to return home will be on Sunday and Monday. If you're planning on driving, it's best to leave before noon, with the heaviest traffic expected between 2 and 6 p.m. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Enjoy lighting fireworks on the 4th. There is a place for you to go. And what has been a tradition for years now, Patriot Park will be open Friday night from 8 until midnight for those who want to light fireworks for the 4th. Quail Creek Volunteer Fire Department firefighters will be in the park on standby. Victoria County Commissioner Shannon Martin asked that everyone that used the park to help keep the park clean by disposing trash in a recycle bin that are located throughout the park. Patriot Park is located at 1880 Fordyce Road inside the former Saxon Lakes Park. And tonight we're looking at a local food handling inspection on Behind the Menu. Each week, the Victoria County Public Health Department releases food preparation inspection reports. We want to show you how the area establishment that serve food are doing. Seven eating places in Victoria have some issues. We show you those with more than 10 demerits. There include Surfing Crab Expresses with 32 demerits, Golden Corral with 25 demerits, and Ventur's Tamales on East Water Street with 21 demerits. Dragon Palace and Supreme Mercados with 18 demerits each, China Bee with 13 demerits. And then Casa Jalisco had 11 demerits. You can report any issue you find while eating at the Victoria County Public Health Department. And 7 establishments received a perfect score. They include Sweet and Treats by Dive on 1 and Fairy Sari Store, Victoria Shaved Ice, Connie Ice 1, and Tiny Sprouts Academy in Victoria. And Cuero County Club, Domino Pizza, and Subway had perfect scores.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 87 degrees, a little warm, a little humid, yet there's not a whole lot of sun. We had a thick overcast today. Are we going to get showers? Well, I'll tell you, it's not out of the question. Got up to 90 this afternoon. 94 is our average high temperature for the 4th of July. How about that? So, yeah, it's going to be warm. We're going to be perspiring. Some of you will get a little shower activity, but we're going to have a great time. We'll talk more about your weekend after this. Well, some of you have already left. Actually, you're not there anymore. A lot of people are going to be staying in town, but also people traveling. And I tell you, across the state of Texas, there's all kinds of weather. Now, here we are, as you can see right about there. We did have the sea breeze showers that popped up earlier in the daytime, and they traveled northbound, which is predictable. That's what we always expect. But then you can see aloft how the upper winds are bringing some of that cloud cover back down. So it's getting very interesting. Now, while we're doing fine, it's raining heavily in the Houston area. Houston Hobby got over 1.5 inches of rain today, and it's going all the way up I-45. It's also raining heavily north of Austin, as you see right there. And in West Texas, it's really coming down hard, you know, which is really weird because a lot of people go out to the Big Bend for the camping holiday. I don't know, this year it's going to be soggy. So we still have a few sprinkles here and there, nothing significant, no severe weather, but it's on the damp side. And you can see right here, Houston, there's 45. Looks pretty soggy out there in East Texas. And look at this. From the Austin area through the hill country and all the way out to the Big Bend. They're under flood watches. This is that tropical moisture that came up from that tropical storm last weekend. And so you cannot rule out that we'll get a shower or two. I think by and large, though, we're going to have a good time. All right. Here's today in the last 12 hours of rain. You can see that generally less than 1/2 inch earlier today. But just north of us in Cuero, or rather the Gonzales and northbound, you can see they got a lot more rainfall with a good solid 2 inches here in the Giddings area. Far west Texas, Midland, Odessa getting flooding rains of 2 to 4 inches. We, of course, want to remind everybody that the celebration is going to be out at the community center, not at the Riverside Park, okay? So Kids Zone at 3:30, lots of bouncies, and then 4 o'clock dancing music and fireworks at 9:30. I think whatever shower activity we have earlier in the day will decrease, and the evening will be nice for the fireworks. But I also want to remind everybody else that in Port Lavaca, Ganado, Cuero, Palacios, and Coleto Creek, you're also going to have professional fireworks, so you can go watch them there and have a great time, all right? We are looking at tomorrow's severe weather outlook. Well, it doesn't have us included in that, which is good, but that does not rule out anything in terms of, you know, little drips from the sky. So let's just consider that, and if you get wet, hey, consider it a lucky thing, because the heavier weather is going to be north and east and west across the state. Our temperatures are going to be slowly climbing up into the mid-90s. You can see 94, 95 by Monday. So yes, the humidity is going to be a real factor. Now here is an area that has a better potential of development into a tropical storm. It is off the coast of the Carolinas, but it would move out to sea, so it's not a big factor as far as we're concerned. Other side of the world, we have Flossie that is falling apart, and then the development of another storm in the Pacific. The Pacific has been extremely active this time this year. Now, there you see the heavier stuff north and to the west of our area. You cannot rule it out, but all the things are going to be good. 90 degrees in Port Lavaca, and in Cuero you're getting up to about 88 because of the cloud cover. Your 7-day forecast, well, there's your Friday with a 20%, and we're going to keep a 20% right on through. There will be some Saharan dust, but it's beginning to thin out, and that's good. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan it, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And like we've been telling you all week long, or actually all month long, Aztec Forwarding, Goliad is right there on the main street when you drive into town. It's giving away a free whole house generator to help you keep the lights on when it matters the most in the middle of a storm. Now it's real quick and easy to enter. You just got to go to crossroadstoday.com, click the menu button, and then hit entertainment, and then hit contest, and you'll see this graphic, Storm Ready Power. Click on that and you put in your name and address and your email, and hopefully you'll be the winner. We've got time to register until July the 10th, because on July the 11th we're going to pull the winner. And that is it from the weather front. We'll toss it back to Amaya.
Thank you, Matt Clovia. Now let's go on to Max Williams, who is here with your sports.
That's right there, Tamai. Tonight is Thursday, so you know what that means. It's going to be our Athlete of the Week. So who will it be? I'll tell you here in a few minutes in sports. All right, Cross. Well, tomorrow being 4th of July, I wanted to start off the fireworks early and give out who will be this week's Athlete of the Week. We're going to give it out to tight end linebacker and / wide receiver Bryce Sleva. Here's more for our Athlete of the Week.
State champs, Division III, Texas 7-on-7.
To start off the month of July, we're handing our Athlete of the Week to Tidehaven linebacker Bryce Sleva. Sleva got the game-leading touchdown reception from quarterback Cale Russell and also got the game-sealing interception versus last season's 2A Division I state champions, the Ganado Indians. Tidehaven win the game there 34-21, and Sleva mentions how he felt and all the emotions he had after beating Ganado.
It's great, and there's all types of different emotions running through me right now. Just being able to be here and live through it is awesome.
With this victory over Ganado, it clinched Tidehaven's first ever state 7-on-7 championship in program history. Tidehaven head coach Dave Lucio is proud of this team during 7-on-7 play and credits Sleva's leadership on the defensive end.
Bryce Sleva is sort of the same way on the defensive side. It's just awesome watching young men take charge of stuff and then, of course, accomplish the goal they set for themselves.
This team's success during 7-on-7 will help during real football action, which will start in late August. Sleva still wants the team to be level-headed and knows they will have to compete hard still this offseason.
We can't get too big-headed because this ain't the real deal, but we're definitely going to come harder than we ever have this year.
In all, Sliva helped Tidehaven faithful win their first ever state 7-on-7 championship, and can't wait to see Ganado kind of seek revenge versus Tidehaven when they face each other at 7 p.m. on September 19th. Can't wait to see that matchup in a couple months, and congrats to Bryce Sliva for being this week's Athlete of the Week.
All right, what about this week's fishing report? It's supposed to have some good weather. Might have a little bit of rain on Saturday we're looking at here, but still, 4th of July weekend, still a popular week to go out fishing. So here is our fishing report to know of for a shorter look at it. So if you want to go around Coletto Creek, the water's right now fair at 87 degrees. It's a little bit slightly stained right now, but if you want to get those most catches, you can go in that red shad using those soft plastics and those about 5 to 10 feet of water area that's around the stumps and that submerged trees as well. Then around Port O'Connor, the water is good there, 82 degrees, with trout can be caught in those morning free lying using those live croaker outside of the jetties area if you want to use that for sure. And then around East Matagorda Bay, it's going to be good there for you guys 4th of July weekend at 82 degrees as well. You can use wade or drift reefs out there if you want to catch a couple of feet of trout, but also a few catches of redfish. So keep that in mind if you want to try to go redfish in East Matagorda Bay. Probably not the way you want to go if you want to get some redfish. Now from this week's fishing report, some softball Little League action. Refugio County Minor Girls softball team is in an elimination game tonight versus Canyon Lake there. It'll be at Blessing, Texas. The game will start at 7 p.m. as Refugio, they look to compete for the sectional championship. If they win, they'll play the Industrial Minor Girls team. That'll be Saturday night at 6 p.m. still, and Blessing as well. And then finally tonight, the Generals are back home this weekend, right? But they're going to be on the road here tonight and tomorrow there versus the Baton Rouge Rugerers. So first pitch tonight will be at 7:05 p.m. And we're going to have a final score for you later on for 25 News Now Sports at 10 p.m. And that's going to do it here in sports. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Max. We'll be back in a moment. A 4th of July tradition returns. What to expect from this year's famous hot dog eating contest and what all eyes are on one competitor. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest is set for Friday. On Thursday was the official weigh-in for the competition. Joey Chestnut is seeking his 7th mustard belt at the annual gut-busting get-together on the Coney Island boardwalk. He was banned last year due to a dispute over his sponsorship deal with a company that makes plant-based hot dogs. The 41-year-old Chestnut owns the world hot dog eating record when he gobbled 76 hot dogs and buns in 2021. Among those in the contest field, he will face off against last year's champion. There's also a women's competition eating hot dogs. Okay. Wow.
Oh, look, they're warming up.
Oh my gosh. Like, how can you put a whole hot dog in your mouth like that?
I mean, we
don't
were
know.
saying it there in the break. It's just like, you know, it's like you got to take time to digest it and everything, you know, and everything else.
I don't think
just
that's
don't-
part of the rule there. You just
Yeah,
go
well,
75,
you know.
75.
But then your mouth get dry and I don't know, is that a sports max?
I said I don't count it as sports. You know what I'm saying? I just don't
competitive-
see it as
Competitive
you know,
eating cannot be a sport. I mean, it's not.
You never know. It can be to people.
Well, anyway, folks, hope you have a great weekend. Tomorrow we will have some clouds, a little humidity, and 1 or 2 little afternoon showers. I don't think it's enough to really mess up your holiday. And of course, by evening, things will start clearing up just in time to go see the fireworks over at the community center.
Yes, and make sure you guys stay safe out there, enjoy with family and friends, and watch for babies with the fireworks. But thank you for joining us. We hope you will join us tonight for 25 News Now at 10. See you. Bruh.